drivers, would you like to know how you can protect your income when you're out delivering for UberEats and companies like it, such as DoorDash and Grubhub? Look no further. I'm going to reveal the hidden secret in this UpRight bag that makes it truly unique and different. This matters too. If you spill the customer's drinks or if you damage their food, worst case, eventually long term, you're going to get deactivated. And no one likes to hear that. In the short term, the customer will pull back their tips from you if you accidentally spill something. And this is all easily preventable. Let's get right into this secret. And then I'm going to share some aspects of this bag that you're not aware of yet. And it's really going to benefit you as an independent contractor. So more on that in a little bit. Let's grab this bag and take a look at it. This bag is different. The secret that I'm sharing is hidden in plain sight. It's right here in the bottom. You hear that sound. So the difference is there's a layer here which covers it, and then there's a whole bunch of plastic beads or plastic balls inside. And that is separate from the firm structure that's in the bottom here. So you may wonder, what's the big deal about these beads? And it's actually pretty simple. So, you know, when we drive or walk, you can feel those G-forces moving, and that's going to shift the food and the drinks. What about if you're driving? Well, don't drive aggressively, but when you're driving in your car and you accelerate really quickly, especially in a sports car, you know that feeling as it pushes you back in your seat from that raw power. And you can even experience that from cars like this, a nice Lexus. Or what about when you're flying in the aircraft and it's taking off and you just have that immense power shoving you back in your seat? Those are G-forces. And as food delivery drivers, we need to be aware of those because they affect how we transport the food as well as the drinks. Obviously, we don't want to spill drinks. Never, ever do that. And another way to consider this, obviously, we're very familiar with cars and airplanes. What about in earthquake-prone areas of the world, especially in Japan? How come those skyscrapers don't fall down in an earthquake? It's because they have massive rollers underneath that building. So when the earthquake comes, it's just gently rolling back and forth instead of snapping off and crumbling. So imagine that when you look at the UpRight bag. This is a food delivery bag. You would have the food and drinks inside. Here in the bottom, you have those beads. So imagine the same type of activity, the earthquake. So you have a bottom here, which is actually cushioning everything inside. So when it's shifting, the contents inside are protected because it's actually the bag that's shifting gently because it's built into the actual structure from the bottom all the way in there. It's a secret, separate compartment that holds those. And then it's the same idea as in an earthquake. The food and the drinks are gently supported inside. It is profound and it's unique. And I know the UpRight bag team has this patented. That's why this is such a unique bag and it's completely different. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you this aggressive drink test that I did with this bag. And you know what? None of the drinks spilled or even came close to spilling. And I'm excited. After testing this for many months now, I'm excited to buy more because I plan to use these exclusively for all my deliveries. And I have good news. I'm going to put the link. You can buy one or more as well. I'll put it in the video description as well as the comments. And yes, I do get a small commission for every sale that I make. So thank you so much in advance for helping. And you're going to love your bag as much as I do. I love this. And I do want to mention, I've been doing food delivery part-time 8 years now. So I've got a lot of experience. And that's why I love helping drivers like you so that you can thrive and especially do well on all the apps. And in my 8 years, I have never, ever, ever trusted any drinks to any of the other food delivery bags, no matter what brand or which company they're from. Never. The UpRight bag here is the only one that I've ever trusted and will trust in the future. So that says a lot. And, you know, speaking of product reviews, I don't do those often because I know my credibility is on the line. And I just want you to know The Boblov body camera, that's not the point of this video. I love this camera and I still use it today. And then even the Vidcastive one that I do for food deliveries, I still do it infrequently. So you can take that to heart that I'm telling the truth and I'm sharing true value, and the UpRight bag is no different. You should buy one today. And again, thank you in advance for that purchase. And it goes without saying, if you drive like this in my test, you are not going to be a good food delivery driver. Your tires are going to wear out. You'll be replacing your brakes, fuel costs, and then, of course, the dreaded tickets. So I know none of you would ever be driving like this. Originally, when I did this test, I was just going to drive around and see, but then I got more and more aggressive because it's like, wow, this is great. And it was really putting those drinks through the paces. So enough details on pointing out what happens when you drive aggressively. Check out this drink test. You are going to be amazed. All right, how about at this next stop sign, I will stop a little faster than normal. Haha, all right, let's test it further. I'm gonna stop even faster. Let's, we're turning side to side, as you can tell. Huh, that's holding up. Again, I never drive like this with any drinks in the car. And then obviously, the inside of the UpRight bag is sealed. And so I'm sure that helps with cleaning. All right, here's a good stop. Wow. I would never stop like that. And if I did, I would fully expect drinks to go flying. That was something. And you can see the drink going back when I'm accelerating, and I'm sure it comes forward when I'm stopping really fast. Huh. All right, we'll do another stop. Ah, did you see that? It slid forward a little bit, the whole tray, but nothing flew out. So that would have actually been fine. And I do not stop abruptly like that. That would be trying to avoid an accident, because obviously as drivers, we're always very careful and safe when we drive. Because I'm sure you realize that if we were to get a ticket, that just ruins all of our earnings for that day. So it's never worth it to not follow the speed limit and all the traffic laws. All right, a little sharp turn there. All right, this is a fun test. I'm gonna park and let's put it in the seat. Huh. I'm sure you noticed that sharp right turn parking. Again, I'm sure none of us would drive like that. So the drinks are holding up. This is good. All right, let's put it up on the seat. Yeah, because otherwise it would come out. So I'm going to just carefully lift out the drink tray. And then I'm going to put this in the seat. Now it is angled back. And then I'll just set the drinks in there, just like I did before. I can see already, you can see the drink is leaning back, so that's interesting. We're just going to do the test. That is definitely at an angle that's further back, so if there were going to be any spills, it would be now. I think if they haven't spilled yet without the lid on, the lid would only make it stronger. And you can see just from gravity, you can see how the drinks are tilted backwards. I'll stop. There's a stop sign right here. So you can see that water splash in there. So I could see it would be good to put something under the bag to keep the drinks level, but obviously you don't have to, as long as the restaurant, or in certain cases where they want the driver to fill up the drinks, just don't fill them up all the way. Another stop. I can see the water splash out of the top of that coffee cup, but I'm stopping very aggressively. Turn right here. That was a little bit of an aggressive turn. As food delivery drivers, we would never do that. A left turn. Wow. If you are driving like that with drinks in your car, you should not be a food delivery driver. But I trust that this is good enough to show with that, those really aggressive turns and then stopping so quickly. I think you would get the idea. Alrighty, let's check this out. So, I do not see any water that spilled. Good job, UpRight bag. That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? None of those drinks came close to even spilling. So earlier I mentioned that the UpRight bag is different and unique, and obviously it's patented. There's other features that help you protect your income, especially as an independent contractor. And that's for any of the apps. So I've got good news for you. I've made a video doing a detailed breakdown on all aspects of this bag. And here's two quick ones. Look at this. Velcro, no zippers, and it's a firm bottom. Those are just two things. So watch that video next, and I'll see you there.